It's funny.
I just finished listening to all the episodes at work.
Wait, you did?
Yeah, I have that much downtime. And then I fell asleep in my chair, like listening to it. I was like, yeah, so I got to listen to all of them. So,
Which one's your favorite so far?
Oh, well, there's one. I don't know which episode it was on, but it was the one talking about like the masculine and feminine, and it gave me like inspiration to like do an art piece with it. Cause I have a friend and they sent me like a link to, cause LA Pride's coming up.
Yes.
And I guess right now they're having art gallery, I want to say, for like people in the trans community, and they're like, oh, what does the letter T mean for you? And so I don't know who said it, but you said something along the lines of it's not a division, it's a dance with the masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, once I heard that I was like, oh, that's really good. Like that'd be a cool piece to like. So I think I'm trying to like, but I have to have it due by Monday. I haven't started it, so.
I'm not surprised.
I know I have so many like Sarah's. I'm still working on.
We won't tell her. I don't think she listens.
I know.
This episode won't be out for a while. Anyway.
Yeah, so by the time I was like, just don't listen to that part. Yeah, so
okay, so it's funny because for the longest time I could have sworn so first of all, we have a very special guest today.
Oh yeah, no, that's
even introduce. Okay.
Oh,
This is my youngest brother, Kai.
hello everyone. Sorry, that was a weird intro. I'm probably like, what the hell is
So for the longest time, I could have sworn he was a phlegmatic because he's so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And then at his birthday, I saw his quads and I was like, what the F are those? Like, those are not phlegmatic legs. And he's like, oh, but I work out. And I was like, but so do I. Like, no. I was like, no. And then I think I might have like already had a buzz ball. And I was
we had
like,
we had that mixture of Merlot, Hypnotic. No, not Merlot, Taylor Port. I'm sure someone listens to this and be like, what the hell?
Next morning.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think
but
everyone...
I was like, surprise, happy birthday, you're a sanguine.
I was like, what the no. It didn't make sense to me because I was just like, I do feel very emotional, but then when Ro read me, it made sense because he was just like, well, you could turn it off. And I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense because I look at my best friend Jason, he's a phlegmatic.
Yeah.
And I know like
Can't turn off.
yeah, I like
We don't have the ability to turn off.
Yeah, when things happen, it's like it sticks with him a bit longer. But then with me, it's like I'll get upset over something, but then I usually just tell people like, just let me cool down and I'll be fine. And then I'm like, all right. And I feel almost kind of crazy sometimes, like.
Go ahead, continue.
Like kind of like, am I insane? Because like I could go from one emotion to another. Like I'll feel sad or like upset, and then like I'll be hanging out with people and I'll just feel good and I'll be all right, I'm cool, like that thing was nothing. But then I'm like, that's weird. Is that weird, or am I weird? Or like I just felt that for a long time where I'm just like,
you are very weird, you're an alien and you don't belong. Just kidding. No, okay, I'm glad you brought that up though, because I like, okay, tell me tell me if this resonates, but like sanguines become unhinged in like they go from like 0 to 100 in like negative seconds. Is that true?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, because Mia will go from like totally happy calm to like something doesn't, like last night we're at Rubio's and they took something off the menu and Mia was like, I want to burn this place down.
You know what's funny? Okay, you know what's funny?
Dude, you could see it in her eyes.
But then she'll cool down after, right?
It takes her like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah. Like, say, for example, like today, like me and Jason went to Costco and I'm all like chilling, you know, I'm going time. But as soon as we go in there, I was like, I fucking want to murder everyone in this goddamn place. Why are the aisles so crowded? I'm getting anxiety. Like, oh my God, why is this person taking so long? Like, all these old people are just, why do they get licensed to drive? Like, every bad thought. But as soon as we're out, I'm like, all right, I'm glad we got that done. Like,
That's Mia.
yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like it trips people out then. So then it makes me feel weird because then the people are just like,
Yes.
you were just pissed off like 2 minutes ago. Why are you laughing and joking? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
Well, and it's funny because so we were talking with another sanguine at Falling in Love, and she's the exact same way. She was like, right now, her and her boyfriend are kind of like they're doing great, but he's like, but he knows I'm crazy now, because like she could like fly off unhinged, and like on one hand, I'm so glad that Mia has the perspective of like her being a sanguine, but then freaking her brother is like, you're effing crazy.
oh yeah, I guess you've been
I'm
doing
just
that.
like, and I'm trying to like, I'm trying to help him understand like this. Like this is her biotype. Like sanguines go from 0 to unhinged just like that. He's like, well, she better. I don't. He just starts going off, and I'm just like,
What does Mia do?
well, she gets crazier.
Oh, okay.
She's like, you want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Yes. Until she pushes it too far, and then they explode, and then of course she ends up crying. And like, what was it? A couple nights ago. Okay, this is my house. This is what it's like to have two hot biotypes in the same house.
Oh, I know because Steven, well, my other roommate, is a choleric.
So I don't know what happened, but on Wednesdays we watch The Rookie together. But Mia has class Wednesday night, so she can get home till like a little after 8. Well, Vin and Sarah come over. And we start watching it like a little bit early, and I guess Mia was under the impression we were gonna wait for her.
Oh shit!
And
that FOMO hit in.
And yes, and she calls and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" She's like, "I'm on my way home." And I'm like, "We're watching The Rookie," and she's like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Okay, no, we're not." And she's like, "Wait, are you watching The Rookie?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she click.
Oh.
And she comes home. She fucking burst through that door, unhinged, pissed off, and like. She starts going psycho. Like, I don't even want to say the things that she says to him, but he's like, you're effing crazy. Like, you belong in a nut house. Like,
no.
But then he comes from a place of anger, right? And then, she wasn't fine until like the next morning. And then the next morning she'll be like, damn, like that got a little out of hand.
That's awesome. Because I have 3 other roommates, and then Jason's a phlegmatic. Yep. Sinead's sanguine like me, and then my other roommate's a choleric. Well, all like I feel like sometimes we tend to just like sometimes it's just I think there's so many emotions sometimes going. I was like it's a whirlwind, but I don't know. It's enjoyable. I love them. They're my best friends. Aww. I've known them since first grade. Yeah, Jason's since first grade, so.
That's crazy. That's so good.
I know, so it's good. It's been a good time.
So tell us how sanguine you are actually. Like, give us the list of endeavors that you've embarked on.
Like activity. Well, I feel like I always say this. I feel like people think I'm smart, but I just feel like because I've done so much stuff that I have like knowledge in the most randomest things. Like I like to say a jack of all trades.
Yep.
Like I've done like caregiving work. I've been a licensed massage therapist before. I jumped to field technician for like working on those poles for Spectrum.
That's right.
I've been a bartender, I've done so many things.
Reiki. Didn't you get certified in Reiki?
No, I didn't. But we did like study that for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then now I work for the trains.
And you're a locksmith.
Oh yeah, and then I was going for school for locksmith, so now I fixed your door. But now
oh my god, what now? Tell me.
Well, because it's just now I want to pursue like being like because there's a position in our union for a painter. And so I want to do that. And so I looked into it and like to try to be a painter apprenticeship. So I'm gonna try to do that after like my surgeries and stuff. To do
Wait,
that.
did you say a painter?
Yeah, like they go around facilities and the buildings and they'll repaint stuff, or if like
Oh,
a room needs painting, they'll do that. Or like I
okay.
don't know if they go into like body shop for like the parts. I think
Yeah.
that's a different position, but yeah.
Oh,
So that's
nice.
that's my next endeavor until I change my mind and go to something else because it probably will bore me. But
But see, you know what though? I think I like for a while I was like, well, shit. Like I can really identify with like that being a sanguine of like you just done so much stuff. But mine, I don't think mine came from a place of curiosity. It came from a place of feeling empty. Let me just try this.
yeah, mine's definitely curiosity. I'm like, well, what's the worst? If I don't like it, then I go something else. But I think I fell into a lot of shame with it because of mommy. Get it out. No, I'm just
Go
kidding.
on.
Like well, like, oh, and then I did like pharmacy tech as well. But
Wait, what?
like I just felt like I felt like a lot of shame when I was going through all these different pathways because I remember she would kind of always just be like, "What are you gonna do with your life? What are you gonna do with your life?" Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't know. I'm still figuring it out." And so I just feel like I never got like that space to really flourish the way I wanted to, and so it
Yeah.
led to a lot of like not taking risks.
Mm.
Like I was just scared because I always felt like I'm gonna like. I think that's probably where like I remember telling Ro that in my reading, or I'm scared to take risks, because
But that's dad.
yeah. But then he brought up a like point, like the one the story I brought up that's like with Uncle John,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, that makes sense that it came from a male figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he was probably like the main like reason why like I didn't like taking risks and stuff.
Well, I think he became the reason why you push away masculine energy
Oh.
because it's like he was the only reference that we had for like what does it mean to be dominant
Mm-hmm.
and assertive. But we don't think of assertive. I think our brains go immediately to hostility.
Yeah, like
At least mine
asshole.
did.
Like I was just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like every time I just thought of him, I was just like, ugh, God, I can't stand you. Like I can't
I
like
know.
that's true. Because I think now, like when I look at men, like if there's any ounce of like them trying to assert
Mm-hmm.
something,
Mm-hmm.
I automatically take it like in a negative way, where I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
who are you to tell me this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't you dare
Mm-hmm.
tell me what to do. Like, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been interesting, like trying to navigate like that.
So knowing that,
Mhm.
what do you do anything to like reframe the conversation in your head?
Um. Well, I think like whenever I feel in general like I've always told like in Jason and Steven, like whenever I feel like I'm feeling a certain type of way with someone or I judge,
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of try to tell my ego like no no no, like they're just talking to you.
Yeah.
They're just like for Steven, for example, he has a way of like being kind of blunt. I think it's like a choleric thing, and so
Yeah.
sometimes he'll kind of set me and Jason off. But like I have to remind myself, like, no, he's just talking. He's not trying to be an asshole. He's just saying it. But there's times where I can't handle it, where I'm already like in a mood, and then I'll just snap back. And then he says he gets fired. Like he literally described it as like there's a burning in my chest that I need to let out, and I want to just release it, but I try my best not to like unleash it. But for me, it's just like yeah, we both just get like so fiery. But I think that's what I try to do, just tell myself like no, like they're just like I just check myself basically. But
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like in this case, it's literally his biotype.
mm, yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like oh, but yeah, I don't know. And then it's interesting like working in like a male dominated field, it's
Mm-hmm.
also kind of like interesting too, just because like um like being perceived now as male
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how they talk about the women or how they interact, it's like I get to see both realms now. Like before I only got to see one
Yeah.
before transitioning, but now it's like I see both and it's kind of like oh, like this is very interesting. Like for example, we have one of my old coworkers, she got promoted basically to a higher position, and it's all males. And so I see her all the time, but she tells me, she's like, yeah, I feel like they kind of look at me like down on me, like, because it is like more with the trains and stuff. And I tell her like, no, you're doing good. She's like, no, she's like, but I feel like you would be better for this because I don't think they would treat you like how they would treat me. And I'm just
How
kind
do
of,
they treat her?
I think they kind of portray her as like stupid, like she doesn't deserve to be in that position. I think because it's like she's a woman, but it's like a very toxic, like the way they speak, the way they handle themselves. It's like, oh, that's really like they get really weird, like with women. Like sometimes they're just too friendly. Where it's just like, and then like at my old division, things got actually really bad there because prior to that, I hadn't legally changed my name or anything, so I still had my old name. So when I came, everyone was kind of like, wait, this is you, but you don't look like, because I had a very feminine birth name,
Yeah.
so it was just very like awkward to like handle. And then like uh there was like a couple of female coworkers, and I got along with them great, like just because it's like I know like they were just so weird, like all the men there, that's just like I feel like they didn't know how to just treat a woman just like a normal person.
Yeah.
And so I think they saw it as like a threat almost in a sense, because then they started like some of the other guys on the shift started saying stuff about me, and it got to the point where I almost had to like take out like a whole sexual harassment thing for it, because like because they were already assuming that I was trans, and they're just like, but then they were just saying really like nasty stuff, like,
Yeah.
and luckily I had like a couple of coworkers that were like new that like I was able to tell them, and so they let me know like, hey, like so and so is saying this about you, they're saying this. And I got like, it's one, like for me it's like I think working there has taught me a lot how to stand up for myself in that sense, where it's just like these are my boundaries, and even though they may be joking, like it's not a joke to me. And so I took it in my own hands to go to their supervisor and tell him the situation, and he completely like nipped it in the butt.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so he was completely like, this isn't okay, like da da da.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just like instances like that I'm noticing
Yeah.
in the workplace. And then also too, like I'm noticing like a lot of jobs will be like, oh yeah, we're very inclusive, we're very like welcoming to everyone, but they don't really have a lot of things in place for like people in my community. Like for example, right now I'm kind of dealing with we do like biannual hearing tests. And so I've done everything that I had needed to do to update everything in the company, but for some reason the vendor contractor that does our hearing isn't updated. So when that happened, everyone was like, "What?" Like they were making it a joke and started like kind of calling me by my birth name as a joke, and it was just
Oh, I see.
so triggering. Where I was just like, "What do I do? Do I tell them like that's not okay and out myself, or do I just sit there and take it?" Like,
Well, what do you mean by out yourself?
well, outing is basically like letting them know that I am trans, because no one knows. I live stealth, so living stealth means like you live in society as like people will see you as just like, for example, for me, just male. Like they don't think like trans or anything. Like I just go about life because it's safer for me, you know. Like
Okay, so now that we're getting into this topic,
mhm.
that's one of the reasons why I felt like you would be a really great guest, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
number one, you're my brother, and you're a Sanguine because you're really funny. So you're really funny, but also too, like I feel like you have a story.
Yeah, and I
Right.
think like that's one big thing I guess coming on here is that I always try to tell people what I do, like open up to them, is that like my story is my story and it's not anyone else's. Like another trans person can have a completely different story than mine. And I think for the longest, like I was always like afraid to like speak about my truth, because right now in this day and age there's so much like right or wrong, like cancellation, like oh my god, like why would you think that, like, but I think when you come from a place of like authenticity, like there's no right or wrong, that's your truth. And so now I guess like I'm just speaking from my truth, like these are my experiences, like no one can take that away from me. So I guess that's what I want to say in the beginning of like all of this, is just like this is my truth, but it doesn't mean that it's someone else's, but this is just mine. So
No, I like that a lot. So, okay, so now kind of going back, well, that's the first time I ever heard of like
Oh,
stealth.
yeah. It's like a term that people use when they don't want people to know about like their transition or anything like that. They just kind of live under the radar.
Mhm.
So, um, but yeah, that's basically how I am at work. Only a few people know that I'm comfortable with, but for majority, they don't. There's like no idea that they know. So when the whole the hearing test came about and they read my old birth name, it was like, what is this? And I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
how do I navigate this? What do I do? I had so much anxiety, like I was just angry. And so, and then on top of that, the lady was not nice at all. She was mean. She was a mean.
Just
Are we
in
allowed to curse?
general.
Are we allowed to say
Yes.
bitch and shit? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's a fucking bitch. Like everyone at the division, everyone hates her, and so she made it even just harder for her to like speak to her. Like,
Yeah.
so I just let her know like that's not my name. I don't know why they have that. Like I just kept it very blunt, and so she wrote it down. And then come the following time, she still didn't. It still wasn't changed.
Okay.
So and then she came back like last week or 2 weeks ago, still the same thing. Because my coworker texted me, she's like, "Hey, they have your old name still," and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Okay.
So it was just all this anxiety. So I had to, and this is what I mean, where like I wish there was like practices in place with companies to navigate this, like to where it's like maybe if you talk to a person from that community and ask them like, hey, what are the proper steps that we should put in place for this if someone were to change their name after they got hired in, because it was a lot of steps for me. Like when I changed it within HR, the woman I remember was like, I've never done this before. It's just like, you never done this here, so you don't like. It's like, are you guys even trained how to do this? Like you.
No.
Yeah, and so it got me really like mad that I'm having to do all this, and then it like conflicted with like some of my work because I have to do training online, on the computers, and so IT wasn't even updated, so I had to do all that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I'd be more than happy to like talk to someone upper hand to be like, hey, like I've from this community, these are the steps I had to take. Like maybe you guys should have this already in place, because it's very like exhausting and it's very like anxiety inducing to like wonder if like, okay, what if something comes up again, so.
But I feel like, I guess it's one of those things where like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, I get, but yeah, I guess, but I think it's like, well, if you don't know, yeah, but then it's like, why proclaim so proudly? Yeah, we're here to help, like,
Yeah.
because I'm having to go through hoops right now just to fix this part. Like, I'm having to email 2 different departments, and I'm CC'd in the email, and they're going back and forth. We're like, no, you actually have to handle this. Well, no, you actually have to handle this. So it's like, you guys don't even know.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of seeing them like scrabble. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's very like frustrating right now.
Yeah.
But I guess like I'm kind of used to that too. Like I've
Yeah.
gotten used to kind of having to like fight tooth and nail. But sometimes it's just like I don't want to have to fight tooth and nail. Like I just don't like. It's just very
Yeah.
stressful.
But what if you didn't have to fight tooth and nail? What if, because, okay, you bring up something really interesting where like, I think like because you're my brother and because I know you,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like fighting tooth and nail is your default.
Explain.
Because like, I think that all of us as siblings, right? Like we can relate to not feeling advocated for when we were younger,
Yeah.
not feeling supported, not feeling protected.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to go there first, right? And feel that way, right? Like
Yeah.
like that's our fight or flight, and that's what get triggers automatically,
Yeah.
right? And then I guess the practice would be, because like I feel like I can relate a lot to like, okay, that's my default, but now I also know where it comes from though.
I never thought of it that way.
Right? So it's like, okay, I know where this comes from, and this may or may not be this person's intention, right? So let me give them the benefit of the doubt Now, what else can I do? Like, what's a different response that I can come from so that I see the kind of change and advocacy that I want to see on the other side of that? Because you're right. Like, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I'll just speak very freely, right?
Mhm.
But like I feel like the culture of inclusivity,
Mhm.
right? I want to feel, or I want to say that the push for that, right? And like the push for like DE and I and things like that, at least in the corporate space, I feel like it's still relatively new.
Yeah.
And I can see companies not not being very educated or knowing and like,
Mhm.
okay, we want to implement these policies, but what should they even include? What should they even
Yeah.
look like? And to be honest, I really don't know what work they've done to try to
Mhm.
get there, right? So like I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like I can see this being new territory.
Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of this is very internalized. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
vocalize it a lot. Like I just kind of take the steps and if you see from like an outside perspective, you just kind of see me taking the steps I need. But I guess like when it comes to like venting to people, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's very frustrating. But
Mm-hmm.
I do try to like be like understanding with like people don't always know, but I do know like I am very quick to like jump in like kind of fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice if like they would bring on people from those communities. Like I feel like a lot of times too, like with especially the things that are going on with the country, it's like people have their beliefs and opinions and stuff, but I feel like to get the most raw truth is like talk to those peoples in those communities. Like how like you can't because you can't take away from those experiences. I feel
Yeah.
like it's easy to look online and or post and see like people say, well, this is what this news outlet said or this is what this person said, but it's like I feel you get it from the horse's mouth first because I just feel like
Yeah.
that's like the best source,
Yeah.
like for example, like with like the immigration issues that are
Mm-hmm.
happening, if it wasn't for me dating, my ex, like
Mm-hmm.
I would have never known what they go through, like just seeing her experiences with her family, and it's just like these are very hardworking people, like
Mm-hmm.
they pay their taxes, and just the fact that they're scared to leave their house, like that's not
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like I remember we wanted to take her mom and or her husband up north, and then he's like, "Oh no, he doesn't go that far. Like he
Mm-hmm.
won't even leave like their city because he's so scared." And so it was just kind of like very eye opening. So I feel like
Yeah.
people just need to take the time to listen to people from these communities and just be like, "Oh wow, like this is actually what's happening." It's not so much what these news outlets are saying. Like both
Mm-hmm.
sides kind of are gonna twist it. So it's just I don't know. For me, that's what I try to
Yeah.
do. I guess is just listen to people who are affected. So
Okay, so I have a question then. Like, if if you if you want to go like stealth,
Mhm.
how would people know?
Yeah, I guess that's like I guess because I live stealthily just because like for my own peace of mind and like
Mm-hmm.
safety. Because they do have a training online training for inclusivity, and I feel like it's like as funny and as like fucking I think silly as they are and stupid. Like I think it is kind of like pretty good of like how they explain it. And they do a really good job at like going into depth and explaining like why this is okay or why this isn't okay. Like they actually
Wait, what training?
we have like sexual harassment training, we have like DEI training and
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that. Like, but it actually is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
they do whole scenarios where they have little those mock up videos and
Yeah.
like they'll explain like they'll go into like different religions or beliefs and stuff like that. So I think like they do a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's very like how to balance it. It's just I don't know, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Like like I think that's one of the issues is like I've been like kind of not an issue, but something like I've learned is like being what they call passing. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
passing basically means that if I were to go out into like public, people wouldn't know that I've
Mm-hmm.
transitioned. Like people that do find out, they're just like, I would have never known, you know, like, so I'm realizing it's a privilege, but it's also kind of like tricky too, because I kind of almost feel like I think a lot of there's like a couple trans guys that I've talked to. I think we kind of share a similar belief where it's just like, where do we have space? Like, where, how can we hold space? Like, you know, being now perceived as like a cis man, obviously we try our best to like make sure that first it's like women that hold, like giving the women space and stuff, being make sure we're not now, because now like I've noticed that like I'm seen almost as a threat now, like I'm seen as someone scary, because before, like, say for example you're walking on the street,
Yeah.
like I've noticed sometimes like a woman, like prior to transitioning, women weren't really bad at eye to like move or anything. Sometimes I'm walking on the street and they'll keep looking back and I'm like, why are they looking back? And I'm like, oh, I'm seen as a threat now, like I'm seen as a scary person, like, you know. And so it's just certain things like that. But like I guess it's now it's like, how do I have a voice but now I'm still seen as like a man, where it's just like, who are you to say something? You're just a man. You're just you know, one of those, like it's just weird. It's hard navigating.
That's so interesting though,
Yeah.
because it's like on one hand, you're getting a man's experience.
Yeah, it's like I get to experience both sides, or it's like I think it was interesting. I think when I was in like college, I remember distinctly like one semester I hadn't transitioned or anything like that. And then I went back like a couple years later, like pretty well passing, and just seeing how people interact with me was just like, what? Like people took my what I had to say way more, like they held it higher compared to prior to transitioning. Or like when group projects came about, they looked to me first. When it was just like, everyone's capable here. Like, why is it? And I'm like, oh, because maybe it's because I'm passing as a male. So
Do you think that any of it could possibly have to do with like maybe just how you show up differently too, right? Like
no, I agree. I
maturity?
think like my confidence has
Yeah.
like skyrocketed. Like I feel prior to transitioning, I always felt so awkward and just so, well, obviously out of like not comfortable with myself, my body, or anything, and just trying to navigate in that space and just not never feeling like I always felt weird. Like people looked at me weird. They're just like, you look kind of female, but you don't look it, kind of like I got a lot told that a lot. I look very androgynous. Like I was told like, you don't have a lot of feminine features. Like you don't look feminine. And so it was just like, how do I even show, like I feel like I couldn't be myself, like because I'm not even comfortable with myself, like my how I'm like presented. And so now that I feel like my body matches my soul, it's like I tell people, it's like I'm not transitioning into a different person. I'm transitioning to show you who I always was. Like that was never me. You know, I played a really good mask, but it never was me, because people would always say, why can't you just be a masculine lesbian? I was like, because that's never me. Like, so now that I feel like I'm seen as who's always there, it's like I feel way more confident. Like,
Can you tell me more about who was always there?
I don't know. I think just because I'm trying to think back to like how I was then. It's just so far, because I've been transitioning almost 10 years. It'll be next year.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. I feel like comparing back then, I was just so timid, shy, scared, quiet. But now it's like I'm more outspoken. I feel more like firm in like who I am, and just being able to be, I don't know, I just feel more friendly. I feel more outgoing. I feel more outspoken. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what people describe, what I've heard people describe me. I can only go kind of based off like, because me and Jason, we'll have a lot of like deep coffee talks like in the morning.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just happens sometimes. We'll just sit down
You guys sad boys?
You know, so
Because that's this podcast.
yeah, we're like the sad boys. Like it's just like I call him coffee times. I don't know if but I'm pretty sure.
that.
So we'll just sit down for coffee and we'll just chat about like what we're feeling and like something that's he's always brought up. It makes me, not it makes me like sad, but it just he'll be like, I wish like he's like I see how people are drawn to you, and you're just like you just draw people and you're so charismatic and stuff like that, and you just like
Sanguine.
oh sanguine thing. Yeah, I think just feeling more comfortable makes me feel like I can approach people way more and just be authentic. Like, I just feel so authentic now. That's all. So it feels good. It just feels, because back then it was just there was moments where I was like, I don't even think I could live till 30. Yeah. Sorry.
We cry on this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
We were crying on Monday.
Oh my God. Just wait till you listen to that one.
Yeah. Like there was moments where I was just like, I don't want to live. Like it was just like moments where I was like, yeah, I think I'll be okay dying in my 20s. Just because I just felt like I was so miserable. And
I can see that because I'm thinking about like everything that you're sharing about, like, not being able to live your truth, not feeling authentic, right? And then you pair that on top of you're literally the biotype that has the closest relationship with shame. And that feels almost like a perfect storm to feel exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's why I feel like a lot of people in my community feel that like similar way. I always hear that story of like, I didn't think I would make it to my 30s. I didn't think I would make it to this age. Or like sometimes they get like lost in like alcohol, drugs and stuff just because it's like it's a way to like not have to deal with like the issues. But that's why it's just like when people say like, oh, there's like what won't you regret this? It's like, no, I regret I didn't come out sooner. Like just because I feel so much more better now, and everyone deals with their bullshit like day to day, but like it just feels great to be where I'm at right now. And I didn't think I would ever in a million years be like where I'm at, like being able to see myself and be like, I like what I see. So it's been good. But
I like what I see too.
thank you. Yeah, this is good. But yeah, I don't know if I should tell like my whole coming to. Oh God, I don't even. Well, I think I always knew. I just never had the vocabulary to describe it.
Yeah.
I think I like my first time recognizing it was like kindergarten or first grade.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna say, like, there's so many judgments and stories around like people who are transgendered, right? And like there's so many assumptions, and I hear the biggest assumptions come from people who don't actually know anybody. Right. And so I'm like, well, I do. Like, that's my brother. And like, I can tell you, like, you say it took you so long to come out. And we kind of say the same thing. Like, what took you so long? Because like we've all like we've known. Like, and it was not a surprise to
No, that's
the three of us. But yeah, go for it.
No, I totally like. I think it's like we don't give children enough credit for how they feel. Like, I feel if you want to know honesty, listen to a child. Like, they're not gonna know how to BS you. Like they're just gonna say how. Sometimes they're mean. Motherfuckers are mean sometimes. But sometimes when they're sad, it's like they're actually sad. And so I just feel like people don't give children enough credit for how they're feeling, and like it's I don't know, like they're just the truth, So I think just allowing kids to explore their identities, and it's uncomfortable, I think, just because society has made it uncomfortable. What if we just allow children to flourish and just be whatever, if they want to wear whatever they want, just let that happen. I feel like it would just make things a lot more easier because I know there was moments with mommy where it was just kind of like growing up and obviously not wanting to wear feminine clothes and
Yeah.
having to advocate for myself to do that, and just how she would talk to me was just kind of like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm just trying to be me. And so it just, yeah, like added all that shame. But I just always remember like having more guy friends relating to the guys, but not connecting to the girls at all in like primary school and stuff. Like, it just was weird. And I was just like, what's going on? And I think growing up Catholic,
Mm.
it's just that guilt, or it's just
Mhm.
like I need to be
Sinner.
punished. Yeah, I'm like I would,
Say a rosary.
yeah, say your Hail Marys, and just
Mhm.
like I just remember always saying like, well, why did God do this to me? Like, what did I do to deserve to feel this way? Like, I felt like disgusting, like a monster, just because I had no one to relate to. And so just growing up through all that, and I think the first time that like I heard of like anyone being trans, I think was in high school,
Mhm.
because at our high school, it was very like not Bellflower, but Downey.
Mhm.
It was very like inclusive. Like, it was such a big school, like 4,000 kids, but like everyone was pretty chill with each other from what I can recall. Like, no matter like where you came from, your background, like how you identify, like people seemed really like cool with each other.
Mhm.
And I had a friend, and she had a friend, and would talk about them and say like, oh, they're a trans male, they're actually gonna start hormones and top surgery. I was like, what? Like, what is that? And so coming into college, I started kind of, researching and on YouTube, and there was this guy named Aiden Dowling. He was on the Ellen show, and he was like a runner up for one of like the men's health magazines to be on it.
Uh-huh.
He was like, he's a pretty like prominent figure in the community, and I remember watching one of his videos, and he said you cannot transition without like coming out to your family. Like, if you live in their household, like you have to. He's like, how are you gonna come into your house and your voice starts deepening, or they're like, oh, so and so's growing facial hair, or like,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not possible. And I think that was a moment where I was like, shit, like, it was easy coming out as a lesbian, but I feel like it's a whole other ball field coming out as trans, because now it's like, it's no longer like, this is my daughter, like this is my son, or this is my brother, or so it was just like a lot of like hard work in the beginning. But I first came out to like, my best friends, and then my friends at work, because I was working at Disney at the time. And so who was it? But yeah, I struggled a lot to tell mommy, just because I feel like when things scare her, or she's like in that state of like worry, she gets very cold and mean.
Mhm.
And who was it? It was Ben. I remember I came out to him, and he was like, well, "Were you gonna tell them?" Like, and I was like,
Fucking Ben.
"I know you're this Ben." Thank you for being the ass to step up for me, because yeah, he literally was like, "Well, we're gonna tell him now," and I was like, "No." He's like, so we went into the living room. He's like, "Oh, you have something to tell them, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" And so yeah, I broke down crying, and I told them, and right away, mommy was just like, she's like, "What did I do wrong?" And I was like, "You did nothing wrong." I was like, "This has always been." She's like, "What did?" And then she was just like, "Well, you got to figure it out on your own. I'm not helping you." And she's like, "And you got to tell your sisters. 'Cause I'm not telling them," which I know is bullshit, because mommy loves gossip. And which she did tell,
As soon as you
yeah,
left that room.
she loves juice. So I already knew, like, I don't have to tell her. You're gonna tell them. So yeah, it was just a lot of navigating. I didn't know anything, and like that's why I think I make it a priority. If like I meet someone from my community, like I help them as much as I can, because I wish I had that. But yeah, I just remember researching, trying to figure out like, well, what does my insurance take? What is like, how do I even get started? And I went on to like the LGBT website, and it referred me to somewhere in Buena Park, a hormone specialist. And I remember I had to pay like almost $300 to see her. And I was working at the Disney at times, so I was just like, I hopefully this works, because this is a lot of money for me. And so I met with her, and she was just like, we could start hormones, all this stuff, but it's gonna be like this much money, because she doesn't take insurance. And I was like, well, do you happen to know if like Kaiser does anything? She's like, oh, you have Kaiser. I was like, yeah. She's like, they actually just started a trans program. She's like, it's way more hoops, but you can get everything like covered depending on like how your insurance is. But like, she's like, go through them. She's like, I hate to lose you as a patient, but
Yeah.
go through them. And so that was a bit of like a jump, because at that time I was dealing with like my seizures and my brain condition.
Yeah.
And so when I met with my physician, which I'm glad I changed physicians because she wasn't very like trans inclusive. Like she straight up said, she's like, I don't know much about that stuff. I went to school in Minnesota. She's like, I don't like, and she would always misgender me and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but she was just like, well, you need to figure out your brain stuff first before I refer you to psychiatry. So I was like, oh my god. So I had to go through that. But it was weird because my neurologist was actually really like very inclusive and very like, oh my god, like this is amazing, like I'm so happy for you, and I'm like, thanks, and so once I got that all cleared, then I got referred to psychiatry. I met with a therapist, and then she referred me to a gender therapist, and I love my gender therapist, like Anastasio, if you're hearing this, like,
And she's there with Kaiser too?
yeah, they were Kaiser. Yeah. And now they're actually like the main like case manager, so they moved up, so yeah. But I remember like our sessions were really like good. I had to go through two, but I had one big one, and basically like I remember she hated like referring to it like this, but she's like, I hate this, but Kaiser wants to make sure that you're trans enough to undergo all this stuff, like, and I think that's a lot of misconception that people think too, is that, oh, you could just jump right in, get your hormones, get your surgeries, you're good to go. But it's like, no, you're either gonna like, with Kaiser, it's like they for sure put you through hoops. They're like, you gotta go through therapy, you gotta meet with like your doctors, you gotta make sure you're even healthy enough to get on hormones, because there are like health risks, like with like blood clotting and stuff like that. And so yeah, I got the referral, and then I met with my endocrinologist, and then I had to do a bunch of blood work, and then finally like I got on my shots. So initially it was, I had to go like every 2 weeks to get my shots, and then they're like, all right, you gotta do it on your own now, so we're gonna teach you. I was like, oh my god, like I hate needles, but I was like, this is what I need to do, so I'm gonna fucking do this. And so yeah, so then now I do that, and then
What was that time frame of like, I guess like
so I came out, so actually the first person I came out to was like my ex like Jack.
I remember.
Okay, I came out to her in 2015, I think like a day before my 21st birthday. And then it wasn't until the following year that I got, February 22nd of 2016 is when I started hormones.
Okay.
And then yeah, so that's when I started hormones. And then for top surgery, you have to get like another letter. But that sucked because they did like a whole revamp of the program, and so they lost my letter. So I had gotten approved, they lost my letter, so I didn't hear back from them for like a whole year. And my gender therapist was like, I'm so sorry, but like we have to do another referral for you, because I kept contacting nurses like, what happened? They're like, yeah, we have a bunch of new nurses, your thing got lost. Yeah, but luckily they pushed me up. They were like, we're so sorry, so they pushed me up. And then yeah, and so then in 2018 is when I got my top surgery, and that one was it wasn't physically hard for me. I don't know, I feel like I bounced back really fast. Like it was
Sanguine.
oh, did it?
I was gonna say that. I was like, because you're a sanguine.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was more mentally of like, don't raise your hands, like stop moving so fast, like but it was funny because there's a funny story with that, because I had it the day before Thanksgiving. And I was starving, because you can't eat. So I was eating at mommy's, and then I actually went to recover with one of my friends, Zach. And that was a whole bunch of bullshit, because with mommy and yeah, he wouldn't like. I felt like he over sexualized mine and like Daisy's relationship. Like it was just kind of like, oh, why's your door open? Why like, he was just very controlling. And then when it came down to my surgery, I was like, she has to stay with me, she has to bathe me. He's like, no, she's not, like, I'm gonna do it. I was like, when the hell did you are not bathing me? No. I was like, so like after fighting and of course advocating for myself, he was like, okay, she's saying, but I was like, no, like, I'm gonna go stay with my other friend, like, you're not, I don't want to be recovering in this household. And so thankfully, like, I went to recover with Zach, and they had their Thanksgiving. I ate that Thanksgiving. I totally forgot to bring my stool softeners. So I didn't realize I didn't shit for like 6 days. And so I remember like recovering, and I was like, oh yeah, like, and I was eating for like those days on. And then we had mimosas, and that like my stomach started hurting. So I like kind of farted, and it like, I think just that like It was like the worst shit in my life. It was like shitting out glass, and I was crying. I was like, Daisy was just like, "Where are your stools?" And I was like, "I didn't bring them," and so she had to run and get me some, and like, yeah, it was.
Oh, dang.
That's actually the hardest part of my top surgery recovery.
The shit.
That horrible shit. That was like, yeah,
man.
the worst. But other than that, it was fine. Like, I had no issues. My surgeon was amazing. And then in 2020, I had my hysterectomy, and that doctor was horrible.
Really?
Like initially, I had gone to this other OGBYN, and she was known for working with a lot of trans guys, and she was great. Like, she was just like very like knew how to speak to the trans people. Like, um, like I remember her saying, like, I'm gonna use terminology. Are you okay with me using this type of terminology? I know it could trigger some people. I was like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, okay, da, da, da. And so we were set for surgery, but I think scheduling conflicts happened, and so I had to go to this other person, and the guy was just not one off. He just kept misgendering me, not using my correct name, and the way he was going about it was just like, yeah, it's gonna be like you're almost gonna have a baby, almost like this, just describing it in detail. Where it's just like, I don't want to hear this. Like, I'm already like so dysphoric with my body as it is. Like, why? Like, and then after I had my surgery, when he went to come out talk to Daisy, she told me he kept referring you as she and kept referring you as your birth name, and she had to literally be like he, and he was just like one ear out the other. Like, it was so bad that I didn't even go back to my post-op. Like, I never went back to my post-op. Yeah, I was like, I'm not seeing this dude again. Like, I feel great. I feel fine. Like, if something happens, like,
my
like,
God.
I did not. I saw how much he like. I hated like that person, but I ended up telling my gender therapist, and he was completely like angry, like completely like, I can't believe that like he would do that. And so he like looked it up, and he was like, what's funny is like he's not even listed as an option anymore. Like, so I'm assuming that he probably got like a lot of backlash or something. But yeah, so that was my last surgery. And it's funny because during that was when like COVID and all that was happening. I had just barely made it to get a surgery because they would have like completely like stopped surgeries. And then that's when I got hired with where I'm at now. But like I had to almost turn it down because like, am I gonna be recovered fast enough? So I was working when I should have been like resting.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, it was like a really interesting time. Yeah, and so now I relaxed on like the surgeries, and now it's like I have my big one in a month, which is my bottom surgery. So that's gonna be a big one. It's like 3 stages, but.
Wait, but like 3 stages in one surgery or 3 surgeries? 3
surgeries.
Wait, so this is just the first one?
Mm-hmm. This is the biggest one.
When do you go for the second and third?
So the way they have it, which Kaiser has like amazing team. Like they're so initially, what they would do for bottom surgery is they would send you up north to San Francisco, and they would work on you there, send you back, and then keep sending you back and forth. But they were like, well, we have a great team in West LA. Why are we doing that to them? So they created their own program down here. And so, and it's nothing but like a bunch of like women and stuff. So, and like, but I met all of them. They're all really like great. They're like amazing. And then, so basically I had my pre-op a couple days ago, but she said that, so the first stage, so prior to getting, bottom surgery, you have to get electrolysis on your donor site. Mine's on my forearm. And so then you do that for about a year, and then they do a hair check, and if they feel like it's good enough, then they'll get you in for surgery. So my first surgery is basically creating the phallus and the urethral lengthening, vaginectomy. So they close you up, and then I think they create your scrotum in that one. I forgot, but you can kind of choose what you want and don't want. Like, some people don't want a urethral lengthening, which would help you to stand to pee. Some don't want that. Some don't even want to be like a vaginectomy. So it's all like in preference. So I'm getting all of that, and then I'll be out for like 8 to 10 weeks. And if everything's good, then they wait 8 months, or is it 6 months? And then they do a glandsplasty, which creates the head of the PP, and then they wait like basically the last stage will be like a year after my first surgeries, and that's the penile implant.
Wait, the what?
Basically, so, but this is actually for like cis guys too who have erectile dysfunction. So basically, they insert like a saline solution in close to your abdomen, and then basically one of your testicles, there's a button or like a pump, and you pump it, and it kind of boop. And then when you're done, you press like another button which deflates it, and it sends the saline back into your pocket in the abdomen.
Wait.
You might have to put like a warning label on this episode.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so you're gonna have a pump?
Yeah.
And do you have to use it?
No, it's just if for like
for sex?
Yeah.
Oh, that okay. This is very educational.
Yeah, it's very educational. That's why I was like, you should put like a warning label on this.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that would be the final stage. So.
Wait, but then that means like that'll be in you forever?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm.
Okay.
But like I said, cis guys also get this too, so it's not like it's something like completely like out of the ordinary. Like it's been around.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. So, but I feel like I think too like I feel like sanguine. I guess like knowing that I heal fast. I feel like I'll be okay. Like I've been following this other guy's journey, and he's gotten like all of it. And then I think I showed you him, and you said he was like a sanguine. Like a hardcore sanguine.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like from looking at his picture. I was like, you'd never know.
Mm-hmm. Like he's pretty like
jacked.
Yeah, he's. I'll show you. I'll try to find it. But yeah, like so just seeing how well he's recovered. Like this dude was already running marathons, and working out, and like all this stuff, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. So I was like, okay, like I think I'll be okay. So yeah. Yeah, because there are complications like with like stuff not closing properly, or like strictures, or fistulas, but that's why they keep me in the hospital for like a week. Okay. For my surgery, but it sucks because I can't eat. I literally
wait in that week.
Like okay, I was looking at it and like basically, oh my god. So basically, I was reading the paper. I thought it was a laxative, but it's enemas. And I'm just like, I gotta do what? I gotta put those on my butt, like, because initially they used to have you drink those containers where it just has you shit yourself. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, but they always stopped doing that because people were getting too dehydrated. And so then she's going through it, and then she says laxatives. I mean, she says enemas, but I thought in my head laxatives. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I read it. I was like, I gotta do enemas. So I have after my meal, I have to take 2 enemas to make sure I'm clean, and then they basically will have me on ice chips for like the next 2 days. And then very, very little like solid foods just in case there's like emergency surgery and I'm already cleared and good to go. Wow. So basically by the 6th day I'll be able to eat, but by then I'll be out of the hospital. Ooh. So I'm just
you need stool softeners after that.
I better be cleared to go. I better be nothing in me. Oh my god. No, but I do have stool softeners because I learned hard. I never want to go through that ever again. That was the worst experience.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have to ask you this because you know Mia's a sanguine too.
I know. Mia be asking me all those questions.
Dude, she has more she wants to ask you.
I know. She was just like,
but she's already thinking of your like welcome home gift. and she's like, "Is this too much?" And I'm like,
"I don't think it would. I don't know.
Wait. She's like, I don't know.
Well, I did
thinking of like penis balloons with like it's a boy.
Oh, that'd be funny. They did that for the one guy. They put like penis and balloons, like, and then like it's a boy and it's penis themed stuff. So I was like, it'd be fine.
I could get a cake.
Oh, penis! Didn't they do that for my 30th? They got me that waffle penis.
Oh yeah,
and it had like cream cheese coming out of it.
It was so gross,
I was like, I was like, that's fine. I was like, that's perfectly. That'd be perfect.
Mia was like, Kai will get it. Kai will get it. I was like, okay, you put me in my phlegmatic. I'm like, don't offend him.
I'm like, that's freaking funny.
Okay.
All right, like, see, I've seen some people where when they're getting their top surgery, they'll have like a bye-bye boobie party. And they'll have a cake with like tits and stuff, like stuff. I was like, that's funny. But yeah, so that's That'll be all my recovery. I'll literally have to like
Dang.
be in bed the whole time.
Yeah.
I think they said like that's the worst part is like the mental part.
Yeah.
But what's really great with Kaiser is they literally have someone who's there just for my mental health. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna see me every single day in the hospital, and they were even like, if you need, even up till now, they're like, if you want to talk on online, they're like, you have my information, just if anything comes up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were there my pre-op, and they were just asking me questions. They're like, how you dealing with anxiety? How you dealing with this? Like, oh, if you need help with like disability, the paperwork, like I'll help you with that. Like I'll fill it out, help you, all that
Nice.
stuff. So it's like it definitely put an ease of mind because I think that's like a big thing for me was just like, what if like I downward spiral and I'm just kind of like getting into like dark thoughts, or I'm just like, what am I doing? Stuff because you're just in bed, laying down, just like looking at four walls,
Mm-hmm.
propped up in a hot ass room, and I already sweat.
Wait, you don't have an AC unit?
They have to keep it, from what they told me, they have to keep the room 75 degrees. I think because of the blood flow.
Oh.
So I have to have like a heated blanket on top of me.
Oh.
So they're like, you might have, like, they're like suggesting a clip-on fan to face me. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like, be sweating.
Sweat.
Yeah, so I think it's more just the mental part for me, not the physical. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, that's.
I mean, you're gonna need us.
And that's the part I think I've been like really kind of like going through the motions with is just like being, because I've been always just so like, oh, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Now it's the point where like I can't take care of it this time. Like I actually have to rely on people. Like I'm like be vulnerable and just be like asking for help. It's something I'm definitely trying to like get accustomed to.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like kind of like, I guess that shame where it's just like, because people like my friends will text me like, oh, like I can bring you a meal, or if not, it's like it's almost automatic. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. But it's kind of like, no, like you're gonna need this. Like you're gonna need like friends to be there to talk to, or like to help give you a cooked meal or something. So
Or to come watch Hulu with you.
yeah, I know I have like downloading all the subscriptions because that's all I can do to that point, just Hulu and stuff. So I think that's a big part right now. It's just kind of getting used to that, just having people there for me. So, but it's been good, like with Jason and all of them. Like they're coming around. They're just like, yeah, well, like what are these days? Like no, because I think the first month I have to go every week to the hospital for them to check on me and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
but yeah. Well.
Plus, like I want to be a part of the process.
I guess too. It's like I guess
I'm gonna cry.
I know. I just never knew that. I guess too. Like especially with my other surgeries, it's like I was just always like, I never really had family around, so I just always assumed like, well, no one wants to be a part of this. Like,
Yeah.
so I just felt like, okay, yeah, it's usual. But then when this one came up, it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, I had no idea what I was gonna do. So I think that's what scared me a lot. Yeah, I know. So the big one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And then after that, I'm done. I'm done. Thank God.
Yeah.
No more. I told myself once I finish all my surgeries, I'm gonna go on a cruise. Just take a
heck
cruise
yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Go traveling or something.
So I have a question because I was thinking about it when you were talking about like they're gonna give you like mental health support, right? Are there resources for families and friends?
I'm pretty sure I could ask my I don't know what to call them. I think my mental caseworker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could always ask them like, oh, my family's curious if there's like, I mean, they give me papers for like, oh, like caregivers, like how to support. I could look into that.
Yeah. Only because like so.
I think they have like support groups too, like within Kaiser.
Yeah.
For like, oh, if you have family that's like in the community or trans and stuff, like, oh, how to support your loved ones.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. Of like, even if it's just for like education.
Oh, there's plenty. I can
Right?
send you on Instagram. There's a lot of like people who do that. Like they'll
Yeah.
have like workshops, online workshops. There's this guy, I
Yeah.
think Skylar. He was part of Harvard's D1 men's swimming.
Okay.
He's a trans guy, and so he used to swim with Harvard's, but now he's like a big advocate. He goes to colleges and schools around the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and will talk and basically does that. It gives
Nice.
information. So I
Yeah.
could find his Instagram
Yeah.
and send it. Yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. It's just people have to just know the right people to look for.
Or just even know that there are
Yeah,
resources.
that's true too. That is
Yeah.
true. So I'll look into that.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people always get intrigued once they find out. They're just like, I have all these questions. I was like, well, I'm an open book as long as you're not an asshole. Like, I'm very open, but I know too, it's like, if people are just kind of being assholes about it, then it's like, well, you have Google. I'm not going to be your Rosetta
Google that
Stone.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all this. I
Yeah.
actually personally don't know anyone, so well now I do.
Yeah. Yeah, now you do.
But I have a question because you
Mm.
kind of briefly talked about like when you're done with this, you're going to be going on a cruise. Obviously, you're excited. So 2 questions actually. One, like, yeah, what are you feeling about nearing the end of this journey?
Oh, relief. Like, I don't see it as like a completion of like my transition, because I feel like we're always all transitioning into different lives, and like we're always breaking and building again. So it's just like, but as far as surgeries, it's just like, oh my gosh, like it's no longer preparing. I feel like, because there are moments in the, like, even now where I'm just like, man, well, I'm seeing people in my groups where they're saving for a house, or they're gonna do this, and it's like, well, I can't do that right now because I have to save for surgery, or it's like I don't get to do this and that. And so there's a lot of times where I've truthfully been like, fuck, I hate being trans. I hate being trans, but it's more just like, I guess I've gotten to just like, it's, we all have our struggles and stuff we have to battle, and this is just one of mine. And so I think just the relief of not having to like prepare for all that, and just kind of being able to now just breathe, and like I can actually just, I envision it as like just sitting down with the wind hitting my face, and just like, I don't have anything to worry about. Like, especially with this administration, it definitely made it scary, because it's like you don't know what can happen. And, I'm thankful that we live in a blue state, but still, it's just so like you don't know what could happen. Like, I mean, for example, with the passport, I got stuck in that
Yeah,
debacle.
please share that.
Yeah, so with Trump's executive order, it basically, banned trans people from updating their passports to reflect, who they are. And so prior to him being president, people were just like, well, what do we do? What do we do? Like, I saw so many people freaking out, and people were just like, just update it as fast as you can, get it done. And that way, like, but then when he did that, I don't think a lot of people were expecting that. Like, I wasn't, because literally when I submitted it, and when the passport, I don't know what their facility, when they got it, is the same day he enacted it. And so I was stuck in a limbo of like, well, am I going to get anything back? Or, because I gave all the right paperwork. It was just my birth certificate that wasn't updated because I was still waiting for my new one. And so I was like, well, shoot, like there's nothing I could do. I just have to sit and wait. And so a couple weeks went by, and I got my passport, but they didn't update the gender marker. It was still female. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, shit. But then I got my new updated birth certificate. So I was like, well, maybe if I send it back and tell them, hey, you made a mistake, like this is my birth certificate. But no, they literally said, we don't give a shit. If you want an updated one, you got to do the whole process and buy it and pay for all that money again. And I was just like, so great. Now I'm stuck with a passport. And, and it gets scary because it's like, I don't look female. Like if I go to another country, I'm completely out of right there. I'm clocked. And like it makes it very unsafe. It's just like, I don't do anything. I work, I pay my taxes, I don't break any laws. And the fact that I don't get the same rights as anyone else, it's just like, it's infuriating. And just do a simple thing just to travel. Now it's like a whole big debacle. But I know that the ACLU did file a lawsuit and it won. So, but right now it's just the people that were filed with the lawsuit that get to change it. So I think it's like only a few people, but now they're going to try to see if they could get everyone who's been affected to get it changed. So I'm thankful for organizations like that, literally they've been like doing lawsuits left and right. Every single time they're like, all right, we're filing another one. So I've been just doing my best to try to keep up with like that stuff, because it affects me. So, but it's just like, I don't know. I think people just we're painted as such these scary beings, but it's just like you look at me, I'm the big scary monster. I'm the one that's in your bathrooms. Like I'm just trying to take a shit.
Without stool softeners.
Yeah, with my soul softeners. It's just like there's no it's a makeup monster. It's just it's, you meet people in the community and you realize like, oh my god, like they're amazing. Like everyone's just trying to live their life.
I feel like that's something like that you're not scary. It's the like they don't know, and it's the unknown that's scary.
Exactly. It's
for
just
them.
like that. Yeah, it's like the boogie monster. It's not real, but because of our imaginations and what we're told, it's like, oh my god. And then, but when you turn on the light, it's like, oh, there was never anything to be scared about. So it's just, I think that's another thing too. I think I just came up in my head is that like I don't tell people initially. One, because it's not all that I am. Yeah. I'm just a person with this trans experience. But I think too, like at work, people didn't know. But then when word started getting out, people were just like, "Oh, but I know Kai. Like he's so cool. Like I don't actually give a shit." Or I think it makes people face their like biases towards the community, where it's just like, well, they're nothing like what people say. So now I have to inwardly reflect of like, okay, do I keep thinking this way and going this way, or do I actually change how I think? And because someone here is literally conflicting with my beliefs. So that's another reason why I don't like say anything, because I like to see people's like reaction almost, where it's just like, oh, So
Well, so okay, so now I have a question, like how should I approach, because like I just think of you as my brother, right? But like if I'm talking to like a group of people who are having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I might want to say something like, my brother's trans.
I think it's good. I think when I think it's best. It's great for people to stand up for us when we're not in the room.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need more of that, because it's very hard just to constantly keep advocating for ourselves. But I think it helps when like people do it as well, because then it's like you're not even part of like the community, but here you are still an ally and still willing to be like, no, like that's not okay, or whatever they're saying. It's kind of like when men say degrading things about women, to have another man say like, no, like that's not okay. It's kind of like, because they're at that same level in a sense, where it's like I feel like a woman said, they're like,
Yeah.
But I feel like a cis person saying like, no, that's not okay. It's kind of like, because you're at that state, like the same level with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think everyone just keep advocating and keep fighting, and it's a long journey, but
Dude, that's like a longer journey than like I was fully aware of. Because like, sure, I remember when you had your top surgery and when you had your hysterectomy, but like I wasn't a part of the healing process. I wasn't a part of the recovery process. And like, it makes me sad. But also too, I understand the dynamics of our family.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, while you were going through that experience, I was also in my own experience of like isolating and things like that, and so I want to be there when you go for your cruise, and I want to be on that beach with you, or I'm gonna cry.
No. I just want to go to like a little one, like I want to go to the Ratchet one, the Carnival Ratchet.
The 3-day one to Mexico.
Yeah,
so
that
Ratchet.
one.
Yes, do
I
it.
just want to see everyone be ratchet and experience. Like I
go to Papa's and beer.
Yeah, that's all I
wanna
hear.
go too,
Papa's and beer, and just get trash on the beach, and then hopefully make it back to the ship. Good. But yeah, Jason brought back some tequila from over there, and oh man, that stuff is crisp.
Wait, what kind of tequila is it?
I don't know, but he said it was literally they were pouring it out of a Brita filter thing. And I was like, that must be legit then.
It's filtered.
Yeah. Like, that must be legit. But when you taste it, it was like water. It was like water. So
Gotta do an agave tour.
Yeah. Oh, I saw like don't they yeah, I saw a TikTok. These chicks went on one and like literally there are stops and stops and then at the last stop was like a freaking party and then they had to take their drunk asses back. Like yeah,
Yes.
I'd be excited to do that. That'd be fun.
Heck
Yeah, I just want to explore because now I feel like no chains are like on me and I could just go explore and just nothing holding me back anymore. So
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Yeah, that's all I have planned. Just to go travel. I think it's always wanted to do is just travel, just experience things like a sanguine. Yeah, go experience. But yeah, that's it. Like that's so far. That's my journey. I mean, like I said, everyone's is different. I know some people have had it harder than others. Like I'm very thankful for like my job having good insurance and you know, because I know some people save their entire lives just for top surgery. Because top surgery itself is like easily 6,000 and up.
Oh my gosh.
And bottom surgery without insurance is the lowest I've seen it is like $120,000.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah,
though.
it's $120,000 easily. So, and that's just to have the surgery, but not even like saving for when you're out and all those other things. So, yeah, I'm just very, very fortunate. But, like, yeah, well,
Dang.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy, but it's a journey. So,
Yeah.
now I get to have a gnarly scar on my arm. I'm trying to think of like what I want to say, like a shark attack. I just want to make up the craziest story and every single time change it. Oh, I was saving some cats in a house fire. Or I got stuck underneath a car crash and I had to rip my arm.
Dude, totally.
Or a motorcycle accident.
Totally,
just to pull people's legs. Some people are like, what is that? Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's the Sanguine Entertainment.
Oh, is it? Is that what it is?
I think so. Because we went to a retirement party on Saturday for Vin's girlfriend's dad.
Oh, he retired?
Yeah, from Manhattan Beach Fire Department.
Oh, that's right.
And they were expecting like 200 plus guests.
Oh shit!
And Mia was like, "Oh hell,
They have
no."
alcohol and all that drinks.
They did.
Oh, that'd been cool.
And Mia was like, Mia was trying to figure out a way of like how she's gonna survive. You know
why?
Because she's Mia, and she was like, I'm just gonna introduce myself as someone new every time. Like, and then her brother had to like kill her.
I know. It's like your name's not Jessica. It's me. All right. That would have been hilarious. I would have like a different accent too each time. But I can't do accents, so if I do good,
all I can say is like nar.
Yeah, nar. Like
nar.
It was funny because there was actually a trans guy at my pre-op who just got bottom surgery, and I think he was like British, but I was just like just hearing his accent, I was like, I could hear you say anything, like say a menu, and he was just like, oh, it's like Christmas and my birthday and one because they gave him a bunch of like stuff to take home, and I was just like.
You're like, yes, please.
Yeah, I was just like, I wish I had an accent. I mean, I guess we do have a California accent. We mush stuff together. I think that's what they say.
Yeah.
But
I just know it's not garage; it's garage.
garage.
In the garage.
There was something I saw. Oh, when I went to Just Like Heaven Festival, we saw Empire of the Sun and Steven, and the guy's Australian. He was like, "What's up, Los Angeles?" He's like, "We're gonna make it through these fires." I was like, "What fires?" He was like, "I love you, city of angels." But it's crazy because when you hear people sing with accents, you don't hear it. And then I heard him, I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, I just remember, he's Australian. I was like, "What is he saying?" Like, "Oh, Los Angeles."
You're like, what?
Like, what? Los Angeles. No, I can't stop saying it that way. I wish
That's my favorite. I don't say garage anymore. I'm like, it's garage.
Garage. Or they say we're going on holiday.
Oh,
They don't say vacation.
That's my favorite. I'm gonna start saying holiday too. I'm going on holiday.
They're like, what holiday's coming? Is it Memorial? I was like, oh.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's all I got for my story, but it's been good. I mean, we could talk about sanguine stuff too. I always have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
I feel like once, oh
yeah.
sorry, I feel like since I embrace my sanguine more, I feel like I'm balding more. I feel like my hair's thinning. Like I don't know, like I feel like my hair has gone back. And mommy keeps saying, she's like, "You're balding, you're thinning, your hair's going good." I'm like, thanks.
But
It
wait, let me
might-
see. Turn
is
your
it-
head.
Isn't that a testosterone thing?
Yeah, also too, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, my hairline did masculinize because I used to have sick ass baby hairs, and they would always
Oh,
fucking line me up at the barber
yeah.
shop. But now they don't do it anymore because I have a
Yeah,
receding
that's true.
hairline.
You
Yeah.
lost it.
Yeah,
You're starting to look like a choleric up there.
what is?
Like yeah, they start to
Oh.
lose the hairline at the corners here.
Oh,
I
really?
think that's a testosterone thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Just, you get hair everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere, your ass will get hair before anything.
Oh my god.
It is so bad.
A sanguine's ass is already hairy.
It's like a whole beard
Mia's
up.
like, why don't you have hair on your stomach?
Wait, who said that?
Mia.
Mia. I thought you said me. I was like, oh, well, testosterone. But I was like, oh, me. Oh, that's fun. Nah, I know. Just hair everywhere. Then we lose it right here. I feel like I've been thinning, but
I would say it looks pretty good still.
yeah. So I've been embracing it, especially the white hairs too. So
I mean, you've had that since you were like
like
12, it feels
yeah,
like.
like middle school when I
Oh
started
my
getting white
God.
hairs. So
Yeah.
but now it's just yeah. So that's just I guess it's sanguine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any questions I have for sanguine stuff.
I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of thoughts in my head right now. Like, one thing I'll say is like, you're my brother, and like some of the things that you've shared, like it's even my first time, like, just hearing about your experience, hearing about things that you were going through, like especially like when you talk about the dark times, I'm like, well, I didn't know that,
Yeah.
and so it's like hearing that, and then also having a whole new understanding of your biotype. I'm like, oh my god, like on one hand it makes me sad, but on the other hand I'm like, I'm gonna be angry with you for not bringing me into your experience.
I know. I don't know.
But like, I mean, I don't say that to put you in shame.
No, I
But, like,
know.
I say that to just because, like, and probably this has to do with like my own journey too, of like, me coming back to my water, and like, working on my family, and like me working on wanting to be a part of our bigger family, right? I completely lost my thought. I don't know where it went. That's my subsanguine.
Oh, you're subsanguine.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I think I was gonna say something about like being a part of your journey is really important to me.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that too. That there's actually like how Rose said, like you don't have to be perfect. You just have to let the people that want to love you in. And I was just like, I remember just hearing that because I just always felt like, like I didn't see a big deal, but I guess it is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I guess I tend to like just dumb down things or just anything going on because I just feel like it's not anything big. Like accomplishments or stuff like that. Or just like, I don't know. I just feel like no one really cares. It's like
Well, I mean, I learned too, like, one of the systemic things that I deal with is like being the golden child, and when you have someone who's the golden child in the family, no one else has permission to shine because that actually protects the golden child's place. But I gave that shit back. I'm like, I don't want it. Our family doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And now we all get to shine.
Yeah.
So anytime I see any of y'all playing small, no. It's my duty as a big sister now to be like, no.
Yeah. I always appreciated that. Like, I think talking to like some of my friends, like they always say too, like you hold your sister so high, like especially your older sister, like you look up to her. I was like, I do. So just say that I always look up to you and like everyone. I always Like, there's never a point where I don't talk highly of you guys. I'm always just like, yeah, my sister. Like, when I found out what you do for work, I was just like, you know, my sister does this for work. I was like, yeah. I was like, what are your siblings? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Loser.
Me, I was like, man, I just do the trains. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, I just feel like we've gone through so much.
Dude.
Now to see where we're at now, it's just like, oh, okay.
No. It has me have hope for my kids.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna be just fine.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But that's like that. Like I've had to learn to be okay with things not being peaceful.
Mm.
Like because like as a phlegmatic, that's the phlegmatic downfall of like when relationships are not okay. We are not okay, and we're not okay until the relationship is okay. Otherwise, like we're in hell.
So what do you
But
do?
we're in hell.
Oh, okay.
We panic, we cry, we don't focus, we
all we can think about.
seriously, and
Oh, God.
like and like some phlegmatics go to the extremes of like addictions, right? It's just like not knowing how to be okay when things are not okay. So I've had to learn to be okay when things are not okay. and that might be a little dramatizing because it's like, okay, your kid's fighting, that's normal, it's normal, right? But for me and my nervous system, it feels like hell. So I've had to learn with like, they'll figure it out, you know? And I get to just go and continue to do the things that I need to do or that I want to do. Like I have to be okay with existing within this.
Yeah.
It's not my job to fix it.
Yeah, it reminded me of something I learned in like I remember in Landmark, because I took Landmark, the Forum, the Advance, the SCOP. But I remember something in the first or second one that the woman was like, your duty as a parent is food, shelter, you know, care for it. You're good. You've done your job. Like as far as yeah. And I was just like, oh, like he's like, you covered 3 bases. Your job as a parent, like you checked them off. Like I was like, oh, that's all mommy had to do. Just yeah.
Our poor mom. Yeah, actually, like systemically speaking, yes, as long as your parents provide the basics, anything else they give you is in excess and out of love, and it's the children's job to accept whatever the parents are willing to give. That's it.
Damn. I know.
Yeah. But to your point, well, we didn't have basics.
I know. That's why I'm like, we got like 1.5 check marks.
That's okay. I don't think mom even follows the
Yeah.
podcast. We will not
She's
share
gonna
it with her.
offended. She's gonna get so offended on this one. Oh gosh, I know.
Yeah. Is your mom a phlegmatic? False fire?
Yeah.
Sanguine? Okay, false fire.
Yep.
She loves to punch people, but can't take the hits.
No.
We love to dish and can't take it.
No.
Yeah. And then we get super offended.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And she's like the typical, like she's very much like the typical like Latina mom of like, oh mija, you look like you're gaining a little bit of weight.
Oh yeah, she told me I was balding. Yeah. I'm there at grandma's gravesite putting flowers, and I'm FaceTime with her. She's like, Mijo, you're balding. Look. I'm like, I'm like, thanks. I was just like, I'm here putting flowers out for grandma. You're gonna tell me I'm balding. Well,
Yeah.
or she would do that thing. She would pinch her sides.
Ugh. Yeah, grandma used to do that too, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And be
Oh, look at that generational trauma right there. Yeah, she would pinch hard. I was like, that's my skin. That's not even fat.
And she always makes it about her.
Yeah.
And how she'll look and how she'll be perceived.
Yeah.
But
I love her.
I fixed my mommy issues, so my mom loves me.
Yeah. Ah, I love it. I'll get there. And I'm sure. I know I have no mom, no dad, so I'll just.
But you know what though? I I hope you see what I see because like dude, I've seen you be more sanguine that like in the past a few years than like ever in my life. And I feel like you've always been a little sanguine and we could always see it, right? But like you've been like full on like embracing your biotype.
Like, when's the first time you saw it? Sorry, I'm eating something right
No,
now.
it's okay. I don't know. I think I've just been seeing it more. I mean, like, okay, we've always seen like the quirky humor, right? And like and just like the funniness and the lightness, right? We've always seen that. But I feel like you've been more sanguine than ever. I don't know, just the past couple years. Like just embracing your life, like
Yeah.
going for experiences. Um but then the the even bigger shift that I saw was when we were at your birthday dinner and you were like it was the first time I ever saw you.
Wait, this previous one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the first time where because we were kind of having like a very heated conversation, right? And it was all of us there.
Oh, that
we were
one.
talking about the passport thing.
Oh, yeah. I was
And
pretty down on good drinks.
but what I saw, like you were so calm
Mm.
in like how you were speaking, right? Like you were so calm in sharing your experience despite how it was being received. 'Cause I saw that too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh my God, like, because like, you know, you can tell when someone's coming from a place of like defensiveness and like hostility. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of that at
yeah,
all.
I was really like just like how I said in the beginning, like when you come from a place of like authenticity, it's like
Yeah.
nothing you say can go wrong in a sense. Like
Yeah.
no one can take away what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
so I
And
just
I've
feel
been
like
seeing a lot of that
yeah.
lately. I love it.
Thank you. I feel that too. Like I just feel like growing up, I just felt like I never knew how to stand up for myself, and I felt like I was always just told, "Oh, you're so quiet, you're so shy," and I hated that. Like I remember hating it. Like because I always felt it in me. Like I am quirky, I am funny, but like I don't know why I just never felt comfortable. Well, obviously, I'm probably sure because transitioning, like I just never felt comfortable being that way. And then I just remember there was a point where I just started thinking like, well, like I remember seeing someone being how I wanted to be, and I was like, I want to be like that. I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna do that more. And it's just stepping out of your comfort zone and just kind of like not thinking what anyone thinks. Like that's really what's helped me a lot. It's just like, well, I'm enjoying myself, so I don't care. Like this is fun to me. Like I literally just go through life like, well, this is fun to me.
Yeah.
And
And see, I want some of that now.
I feel people like it was talking to like Jason or like Steven and them. They're always just like I feel like that's what they think. You're just like, what are you going to get into now?
Yeah.
Where do you? Or whenever I leave to go out, they're like when was it? When I went to, I don't know, but I remember I think it was with you. I was like, I'm gonna have drinks with my sister. They're like, okay. They're just like, well, good luck, don't die. Or
Me?
yeah, I felt fine. I just felt a little groggy.
Dude, I straight on got sick the next morning.
Probably all the meat and the cider.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, those things hit.
So twice now I've gone drinking with my brother and I've thrown up the next day. I can't hang.
People literally are like, when I tell them like, oh, let's go out, they're like, okay, but we can't go crazy. Or they're like, oh, but they're just like, oh my God, I really don't want to drink like that. So like, it never goes right. It always just, or I end up getting lost. Like I remember I was a tourist for that in the past, just getting lost. Like people were just like, where are you? And I'm like, I went on an adventure. Another I feel like I've tamed.
It's a detour.
Yeah, it's a detour. But I don't know. I guess I want to just fall in love with like life experiences and just experience as much as I can. And so that's what I think right now too. I'm just so like kind of like just like I don't know what the word is, but like I guess like not anxiety, but just kind of like because like I'm just waiting for time to pass. Like right now, it's literally just like, all right, once this is done, then I can live my life, you know.
Yeah.
So
Dang, I kind of wish Ro could like see this because like I feel like what you're experiencing is like sanguine freedom.
is that like a term, or is it just like
I
a?
just made it up.
Oh, okay.
But
Is
like,
it like something that they try to obtain?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like no longer feeling like they have to hide who they are or
mm,
people can't take who they are or just not even allowing themselves to experience themselves
hmm
fully. Never knowing that level of freedom.
yeah. I feel like I've gotten to that point where now I'm just like I don't know.
Mm.
I just love experiences and like I think before it's like I would be so scared or just shy, and now it's just like I have no problem. Just like, oh, there's this event going on. Like, oh, let me go check it out. I don't care if there's no one with me. Like, I'll make something
Mhm.
of it. You
Mhm.
know, like the last festival like that I went to, I wasn't planning to go, but Zim was just like, oh, I'm gonna go. I was like, you know what? I'll go with you. Like, I want to see it. I want to
Yeah.
experience that once. So I'm just trying to get as much experience. That's why last summer I was just going out, like, because I just
Yeah.
like I want to get all these experiences out. I want to experience all before I have to like, because I knew my surgery was gonna come up the following year. So I was like, let me do
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
and then settle down and then go back
And then go back.
and then go back. So do all that and then go back. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm loving the freedom, the sanguine freedom.
Mhm.
But I guess is there like downfalls to that, or is it like
Downfalls to the sanguine freedom?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like as a sanguine, sometimes it's like you get so wrapped up that sometimes you like hurt people in the process of things. I feel like that's happened a lot to me. It's like with me, like I guess experience like it's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
That's a great question. I mean,
Because you said something in one of the episodes. I think it was about like with love,
yeah.
and I think it like, but you didn't touch on it like a lot. You just said something like, "Oh, love bombing."
Yeah,
You're like,
love
"Oh,
bombing.
sanguines are notorious for that," and then
Yeah.
you guys didn't touch on it again. I was kind of like, what do you
Oh,
mean?"
because sanguines are so in the moment with you,
Uh huh.
right? Like sanguines have the ability to make people feel like they are the most important people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they are. In that
Oh,
moment.
like they make that other person feel like the most.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they are in that moment, but then it's out of sight, out of mind. So like for phlegmatics, for example, it
Oh.
can feel very painful because phlegmatics, okay, something about phlegmatics is that like we want to and need to be a space for other people, especially a safe space.
Okay.
So when we create like that, like kind of intimacy with people, right, whether it's romantic or friendships or whatnot, and then we see someone and then we see that person go and create that with someone else,
Oh.
it is heartbreaking.
Is
Yeah.
is that why like with like Daisy that happened? Like I
Uh-huh.
felt like she always got kind of like upset when like I started hanging out with Steven more.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of like the phlegmatic in her was just like, well, we shared that space and now
Mm-hmm.
you're sharing it with Steven
And now it's no longer our special space, and I'm no longer special to you.
and it's like it's not like that. It's just like I
I
just have
know. I know.
it's
Yeah.
just hard. That's what I struggled with a lot. It's just like all these people mean a lot to me in my life, but it doesn't mean that like why am I so limit? I just like it can only be with you. But it's like, but when I'm with you, I'm with you. But
Yeah.
so it just
Yeah.
made me feel so bad. Then when I would hang out with
Yeah.
people, it's like now I'm making this person feel like crap, or
Yeah.
now I'm gonna make you feel like crap, and it's just like I'm. It's not like malicious. It's
Yeah. I think there's a couple of ways to like deal with it, right? Like
mm-hmm,
one way is like being very honest with people about who you are,
mm-hmm,
right? But then also knowing what the other person needs, right?
mm-hmm.
And trying to find like a balance like within that, right? So and Rose even shared this example of like when he's on travel, or when he used to be on travel to the States a lot, he felt like it was just a whole new life. And but he had to remember that he also has a life at home. And so he would set up things for his wife while he was gone and send her reminders, because he knows what she could possibly be experiencing. And it's just his way of trying to like, it's his way of trying to tell her that like, I may be here, but I'm still thinking of you. I still love you. You're still special, right? So it's understanding what it's like, what it could be like to be in relationship with you, and what could you do to kind of help support the other person. But then also too, like, it's also a two-way street, right? Because like, for example, me as a phlegmatic, knowing what will come up for me, and also knowing that it's coming up for me because I'm a phlegmatic. It's not coming up for me because the story my head wants to tell me is true. You know?
Yeah.
So it's awareness on like both ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I always wondered that. I was just like, oh my God, like,
yeah.
I just always like, I just drop into that sanguine shame. I'm just like, oh, I'm hurting someone. And I think it just prevented me from like really getting into like having fun with whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
It's like, who's getting hurt in the process?
Yeah, like being free.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Just wanted to be me and my cat. It was me I got her a haircut today, so you see?
Oh, Stewie.
Yeah,
I haven't seen yet.
Oh, I think she's on my story, but her and Cooper.
What
Yeah, that's called the lion haircut. I know they look.
Oh my God!
It's gonna get hot. That's why.
We'll have to share a picture of those tails.
I know.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Oh
just
my
that is like
God.
just me with
So funny.
Yeah, so
Well, I've enjoyed this very, very much.
yeah, it was great. I'm sorry if I went on tangents.
Oh my God, no, thank you so much for sharing your story and your experience and your journey.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
It's been fun. I never really got to ever I got to talk about it with people, but I never actually got like recorded and stuff like that. So let's see if I get canceled.
And we out.
We're out.